Hey folks, I'm back for another song. This time we go to Garth Brooks. So for Garth Brooks fans out there, this one's for you. We got to understand that we talk to God. We hope and we cross our fingers and we humble ourselves before God Almighty and Jesus Christ our Father, that He hears our prayers and that He answers our prayers. But of course He answers our prayers in His time, not ours. And sometimes He answers our prayers in a way we quite don't understand. But in the end, in the big picture, it makes sense because it's His plan, His divine plan that He has for each and every one of us. So we gotta accept His will that He has for our lives, for our purpose of being here on this world, to make the best of it, to make the best memories that we can have. Anyways, this is Unanswered Prayers in the style of Garth Brooks. Unanswered prayers for your Garth Brooks fans. I appreciate y'all listening and hope to continue to keep bringing you more and more. Here we go with Unanswered Prayers. If you hear parakeets, my mom just got parakeets for Mother's Day, so you might hear them in the background. Just the other night, at a hometown football game, my wife and I ran into my old high school flame. And as I introduced them, the past came back to me, and I couldn't help but think of the way things used to be. She was the one that I'd wanted for all times, and each night I'd spend praying that God would make her mine. And if He'd only grant me this wish I wished back then, I'd never ask for anything again. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs, and just because he doesn't answer doesn't mean he don't care. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Wasn't quite the angel that I remembered in my dreams, and I could tell the time had changed me. In her eyes too it seemed. We tried to talk about the old days, wasn't much we could recall. I guess the Lord knows what He's doing after all. Walked away, but I looked at my wife, and then and there I thanked the good Lord for the gifts in my life. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs, that because he may not answer doesn't mean he don't care. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered. Some of God's greatest gifts are all too often unanswered. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Yes, sirree, some of God's greatest gifts are indeed unanswered prayers. Peace and God bless.